Welcome back, everybody. This male heel here is still looking beautiful. And the only reason I haven't done a full update on this clutch yet is because the only female in this clutch is still in shed, which I feel like I've had this happen one other time before. But she was actually the first snake in this clutch to go into shed, and she was starting to clear up from blue, which usually happens right before the animal shed. And then she never shed. And then everything else, the other 5 snakes in the clutch, shed out. And then she started going back into blue again. Her eyes got real milky again, and they just cleared up this morning. So I'm hoping there's not a fake out this time. But these other snakes have been out of shed now almost a full entire week, I think. So today I'm recording this on Monday. I think I sent these sheds out either Wednesday or Thursday, so they dried for a day. So it's all been a full entire week since these other ones shed, and she still hasn't shed yet. So we're going to talk about both of these clutches today. So unfortunately, I'm sad to report that the Sausage Fest continues here at Snake Limited for the 2024 season. If you don't know what a Sausage Fest is, it's when you have way too many males in your collection. Think about that for a minute. It's been a very, very big double-edged sword this season with the sausage, because there have been times where it's played into my advantage, and there have been times where it hasn't. The one time that I didn't get a crazy amount of males in the females, and the odds on the females actually played out in my favor, were with all my lightning pied het clown clutches, because I actually ended up producing, I think, 4 double visual lightning pied het clown females, and then I think 3 or 4 pied double het MJ clown females as well. So I actually produced a ton of females that ended up being triple recessive. But I actually only hit 1 male that was lightning pied het clown in all of those clutches, because I only actually produced 3 double visual males. I produced 4 double visual males, and only 1 of the 4 ended up being het clown, which is actually really bad odds, because I should have had a 50% chance, and I only hit on 25% of them. So that stinks. Now, these 2 clutches, so obviously when you're producing snakes, other than when you're producing banana and they have the female and male maker, your odds at gender should be 50-50. On average, you should get 50% males, 50% females. That's with all your genetics. That's how it should work. If you have an enchi, half of the babies should be enchi, half of the babies should be enchi. Now, obviously, it's never going to play out exactly at 50%. But at the end of this season, at the end of 2 seasons, 3 seasons, those sorts of things should average out to be 50-50. I got destroyed on these 2 clutches. So I had 2 clutches. The sire of both was a leopard, red stripe, yellow belly, triple het DG clown pied. The first clutch was bred to a female OD vanilla clown het DG. The second clutch was a pastel enchi double visual DG clown. I hit 2 females out of 10 eggs. I had an 8.2, 8 males to 2 females ratio in all of them. And not only that, I didn't even hit a female that I think I can actually keep, because I have to wait for that 1 snake to shed to even see. It's obviously a visual clown, but I have to shed test it to see if I even hit het DG and het pied, because that was the female that was only a het DG. She wasn't the visual DG. So I'm not even guaranteed that female even has DG in it. And there's only a 50% chance odds of hitting the het pied. But this other clutch that just shed out, I'll actually go in reverse here just to kind of show you the cool males that I got out of this clutch. So I actually do think this is a pastel red stripe DG clown male. He's actually really pretty. I wish he had some more genes in him. If I was going to hit a DG clown, I wish there would have been a couple extra genetics in there. But if he proves out to be het pied, then he's going to be still valuable, because it's still working towards a triple recessive project. And then I hit this male here, who is absolutely gorgeous. So this would be a DG 100% het clown, pos het pied, which we'll obviously test for. Pastel Enchi, and there's something else going on there. I kind of need to work out what else I think is in there, but it might be a Pastel Enchi. I don't know, red stripe or yellow belly, or I don't know. But he's really, really cool looking. And again, technically an upgrade over the dad because the dad's just a triple het. So if he's het pied, technically he would be an upgrade. And then we move on to, this guy was actually kind of a little runt. But again, another visual recessive snake. So this one's a clown, and he's going to be 100% het desert ghost. We got some Enchi in there. I'm thinking maybe this is an Enchi leopard combo. A really cool snake. If you're working it in a triple recessive with Enchi, obviously going to bring in a little more pattern. So I hit these 3 males here. I have 3 males. One that I think is double recessive. One that is a DG het clown. One that is a clown het DG. All of them are pos het pied. A decent mixing of genetics in them. I don't think any of them have less than 2 genes in them, okay? So those are the 3 males that I hit in this clutch. And then I hit 1 female, right? 1 female in this clutch. And let's look at her. What a turd of odds. She has no visual recessives, in which I probably should have hit at least clown or DG in it, because then I would have kept her no matter what. If she was a visual clown or a visual DG, she would have still been valuable to me because she would have been a single visual 100% het for the other one, and then I would have tested for pied as well. But there's literally nothing going on here. She's an Enchi, I would assume, and I think that's about it. This is like pretty much with 5 codoms, 2 visual recessives in the pairing, and this is what pops out of. This is the only female in the clutch, and this is what came out. Like I can't even make myself think that it's a good idea to even keep her, because at the very worst, she's an Enchi double het DG clown. And to me, for what I'm doing, it's not even worth keeping around, because I could spend a little more money and probably buy a clown het DG or a DG het clown. So she's really not worth keeping and raising up. I could probably go buy something that gives me better odds at hitting double visuals for a small chunk of change than I would be keeping it. But she doesn't even have a bunch of codoms in her, I don't think. So what a bunch of poop. Yeah, I can't believe that's what popped out of it. And you have these other males that are really, I was really hoping this one was a female, because that would have been a really awesome female to keep back. But as it is, and I'll show these again once they shed, because they just came out of the eggs yesterday. As it goes, this female is going to be up for sale. I'm assuming both of these males will be up for sale as well, because if this one is a double visual, and there's not really tracks on it, so it's hard for me to tell if it's het pied. Let's say if this is a DG het clown, het pied, maybe it's a keeper. But this is a double visual DG clown. It's hard to not just keep that one, and there's no reason for me to keep multiples of these snakes, especially if they're not moving the projects forward. Which brings us back to the first clutch here. And so this is a male that's going to get sold, because again, I think he's just with 5 codoms in the mix, I believe he's probably just a normal. And so in this clutch, they're not even guaranteed the het DG. So he's a het clown. Now they're all being shed tested for DG and pied. So I will know for sure. I've actually already sent them out, so I will have the results before these are ready to sell. But so this is a this is a het clown pos het DG pied. This is a het clown pos het DG pied male that will be for sale. Again, a het clown pos het DG pied. These two are actually pretty cool looking. So somebody, whoever picks these two up, will enjoy them. And then I have these 2 males that are absolute bangers, which were the 2 visual clown males in the clutch. Now, as they've eaten, as I'm looking at them more, I think the one on the left is going to prove out to be a visual DG, and I don't think the one on the right will be. And I believe the one on the left also has, let's see, I think he had some, he have some nice, I don't know if those are going to be considered, oh, come here, buddy. Come on, those are, I guess, I don't know if those are going to be pied tracks or not. Hopefully that's what it proves out to be. I think if he's not a visual DG, I'd be very surprised because he's super bright, a lot cleaner versus the male over here on the right. But I wouldn't be surprised if this guy was a DG as well. So either way, I mean, they've obviously hit the jackpot with these two males in terms of genetics. They're going to be valuable clowns either way. Even if they end up being clown het DG, clown het DG pied, they're going to be some really cool snakes. So the way that I'm really looking at this and what I'm keeping is, if this guy's a DG clown het pied, I don't know if I'd keep any other snake in any of these clutches. And if he is probably going to get sold if he's a double visual het. Obviously, getting a triple recessive double visual makes life a lot easier in this project. I do need to keep... so this is where the Sausage Fest sort of kind of, and I say kind of, worked out into my favor with this specific project. So sometimes the Sausage Fest is bad and sometimes it's good. This might be one of the times where it was good because this is actually, it's kind of backwards. One of the only projects that I don't have the male, the breeding males being the more powerful snake. In the, in the lightning pied stuff, the OD blade pied double het MJ clown male was being bred to lightning pied females, but they had nothing else in them. So he's the triple recessive and they were the doubles, the better snake. In my DG pied stuff, the OD Leo DG pied is better than the Super OD DG het pied females. In the project I'm working on now, which is the Black-head Leopard Mojave Hypo pied het Black Xanthic, he's the best snake by far in any of those pairings. Clown pied stuff, the male is a Super OD Yellow Belly Fire clown pied that I'm breeding to all my clown het pied or pied het clown females to make some more of those. The only project where I'm backwards, where 4 out of 5 of the females are double visual DG clowns, it's the DG Clown project. Both of the males that I was using this year are double hets. They're double het DG clown, obviously, and then the one male that bred these ones is also het pied, so he's a triple het. And they each have a few codoms, which is nice because it brings codoms into the mix. But I don't have a double visual male, which to me is a giant issue. So the Sausage Fest actually played into my favor in this scenario, where if I do hit any double visual DG clowns, especially if any of them prove out to be het pied, that it made it a lot easier for me to have a bunch of snakes that were males. Because if there were 8 males between these two clutches, I had better odds of actually hitting the double visual het. So double visual DG clown het pied. And I think that happened, hopefully. So we'll get those shed tests back and figure out, what's what and who's where. But this may have been the one time where I was okay with the sausage, and everything else is probably going to get sold. I might keep that one female that didn't shed yet if she proves out to be double het DG pied. If she isn't, she's probably going to get sold too because she's probably a 2 gene, maybe a 3 gene clown. And I don't need that. It's kind of, it would probably be one of my worst holdbacks for this whole entire season. So there's really no point in me keeping her if she's not a double recessive, at least. So, I mean, that's where those clutches are. I'm hoping I have a lot of these DG pied results back from this first. So this first clutch, they're basically almost all ready to ship out, at least the ones that are not the visual clowns. So I should have those results back on the DG and pied testing on those ones before they're ready to sell. So I'm hoping that I didn't waste money shed testing them, because so I do with shedtesting.com with Charlie. I usually just buy a bulk. Like I bought 20 shed tests. So it like breaks, instead of them being, $50 a piece, it breaks down to being $40 a piece for those actual tests. And then when you buy a shed test on his website, it's $50 for the first test and 25 for the next test. So it's $75. So basically, these snakes were all $75 a piece to test for DG and Pied. I know they're all het clown or visual clown, so I don't have to test for that. So it only works out in my favor if those snakes do have one of the two DG or Pied, because I don't know if I'm going to recoup the $75 that I spent in shed testing on those lesser end snakes. I'm just hoping that it does work out in my favor. But either way, I mean, I did produce, those two males are just insane looking. When those came out of the eggs, I was ecstatic. If they both prove out to be DG clown, then it's even more worth it, because I'll probably end up being able to sell one of them and be happy with it. Because from what I see, those snakes were never sold before or available. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm very, very excited to get the results back on those shed tests. Cool looking snakes, very cool looking snakes, and I can't wait for these to shed so I can get those back as well. So a lot of cool stuff. I will feature these snakes a little more and talk about what I think are in their genetics once that last snake sheds. These ones will probably be next week once those shed out, and then we'll get the week rolling. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.